I never thought of myself as someone who snoops. At least that's what I like to believe. My wife Lena and I had been building a life together for 5 years, the last 2 as husband and wife. We met in college. She was passionate about graphic design, while I was pushing through civil engineering. We were different in many ways, but somehow we just worked. Her energy lit up my world, and I was the calm one, the steady anchor in every storm. Or so I thought. 3 weeks before our 2nd anniversary, Lena's friends planned a weekend getaway to a lakeside retreat. It was a women-only trip. She left that Friday, smiling brightly as she kissed me goodbye and promised to be back by Sunday evening. Everything seemed normal. No red flags. Just another weekend apart. Saturday night, I was home alone with a movie playing in the background, something I barely paid attention to. Lena had left her tablet on the kitchen counter, and it kept pinging with notifications. First, I ignored them, but they kept coming. Eventually, curiosity got the better of me. The tablet was open to a group chat with her friends, Clara, Sophie, and a few others I only vaguely knew. I knew I shouldn't have looked, but the messages pulled me in. They were full of jokes, teasing, and excitement. "Lena, you're unstoppable," one message said, followed by a bunch of laughing emojis. Then I saw the photos. Blurry, wild images of Lena dancing on a bar with a shirtless man behind her. Another showed her sitting on someone's lap, drink in hand, grinning like she didn't have a care in the world. The messages that came after hit me hard. "Can't believe you pulled that in the restroom, Lena. Epic. And poor Daniel's got a rival now." Genuinely. My heart was pounding as I kept scrolling. Then I found Lena's own messages. She laughed off what she'd done with a guy named Marcus. "Just for fun," she wrote. I sat frozen, staring at the screen. The tablet's glow felt harsh, almost burning my eyes. Slowly and carefully, I started saving everything. Screenshots of the photos, the messages, every painful detail. I copied them to a USB drive and emailed them to myself just in case. Then I closed the tablet and stared at the wall. The life I thought I had was falling apart, piece by piece, sharp and impossible to fix. Lena came home the next morning, acting like nothing had happened. She dropped her bag by the door, wrapped her arms around me from behind and whispered, "Missed you." Her warmth felt strange now, like it didn't belong. I nodded, holding a cup of coffee I hadn't touched. Had gone cold. "Good trip?" asked, keeping my voice calm. She smiled brightly and pulled out her phone to show me photos. Kayaking, campfires, pretty lake views. No Marcus. No bar. No betrayal. I played along, giving short answers, watching her go through the motions while I hid the storm building inside me. When she stepped into the shower, humming off-key as always, I made my decision. I grabbed a backpack and packed only the essentials. My laptop, passport, a few clothes, and some cash from our emergency stash. The scent of her lavender shampoo hung in the air, twisting my stomach. I glanced at our wedding photo on the shelf. Us smiling, hands clasped, surrounded by family and friends. It felt like I was looking into someone else's life. Lena called out from the bathroom, cheerful and unaware. "Brunch sound good." "I'll be right there," I called back loud enough for her to hear. But I was already preparing to disappear. I waited until mid-afternoon when Lena left to meet Clara and Sophie for coffee. That gave me a small window. I moved fast, carrying my bag to the car and slipping out of our building unnoticed. Felt wrong but also necessary. Like cutting out a wound you didn't realize had been poisoning you. I left my keys on the counter. No note. No explanation. Just absence. I walked through the apartment one last time, the bedroom, the kitchen, the living room. Each space was filled with memories that now felt fake. I wasn't angry or even heartbroken anymore. I just felt numb, like I was watching someone else's life fall apart. By dusk, I was halfway to the coast, checking into a rundown motel using cash. I powered off my phone and let the silence settle around me like armor. For hours, I sat on the edge of the lumpy motel bed, staring at the faded carpet. The steady hum of the air conditioner was the only sound. Eventually, curiosity got the better of me. I turned my phone back on. The screen lit up instantly. 25 missed calls from Lena. 8 voicemails. Flood of text. Daniel, where are you? I'm freaking out. Please just call me. As I kept scrolling, her tone shifted. If you're upset, talk to me. Don't just disappear like a coward. I almost laughed. The woman who shattered our vows was now demanding honesty from me. I turned the phone off again and tossed it aside. Outside, a train rumbled in the distance. The vibrations felt real, grounding me. I lay back, hands behind my head. I didn't know what came next. But I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't going back. The ripple begins. By the second day, the ripple effects began. I was halfway through a tasteless gas station sandwich when the phone calls started again. Friends, family, even Lena's mom, Margaret. I ignored them all, except for one. My brother, Ethan. He was the only person I truly trusted. Daniel, where are you, man? He asked, his voice full of concern. I'm okay, I said. Just had to get out. He paused. This about Lena? Yeah, I replied. She made her choice. Now I'm making mine. Ethan didn't push. He just offered his place if I needed somewhere to go. I told him I'd need a few days to think. Before we hung up, he gave me a warning. Don't let her control the story, Dan. Stay quiet too long and she'll twist it. He was right. Lena had been careless, but she was clever. If it came down to it, she'd play the victim to protect her image. That night, I sent a short message to the people who mattered. My parents, Ethan, and a few close friends. Lena was unfaithful during her trip. I found out and left. I'm fine but need space. Please respect that. I attached the evidence, the photos and texts, letting the truth speak for itself. Then I turned off my phone again. For the first time in days, I slept deeply. The weight of honesty had lifted a burden I hadn't even known I was carrying. 3 days later, Lena found me. The knock on the motel door was soft but steady. I knew it was her before I even looked. When I opened the door a crack, she stood there, eyes puffy, wearing an old hoodie of mine. Maybe it was a calculated choice. Maybe it was just desperation. Daniel, she said, her voice trembling. Can we talk? I didn't move. How did you find me? She hesitated. Sophie tracked your card transactions. I gave a dry smile. Should have stuck to cash. Despite my instincts, I let her in. The room suddenly felt too small with her there. She didn't waste time. I know you're hurt. I know I messed up. It was one stupid mistake, Daniel. I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. I leaned against the dresser, arms folded. Didn't mean anything, I repeated, my voice flat. Is that what you told Marcus in the restroom? Her face crumbled, tears filling her eyes. I swear it was nothing. Love you. You're my husband. Strange way to show it, I said. She stepped toward me, reaching out, but I backed away. You don't get to rewrite this, Lena, I said, my voice steady and cold. You made a choice. Now you live with it. She begged, offering counseling, public apologies, quitting her job, anything to fix what she broke. I shook my head. This isn't about fixing something broken. It's about realizing it was never real. She sobbed, desperate to undo the irreversible. I walked to the door and opened it. You need to leave. She hesitated, then stepped out. I closed the door behind her and locked it. For the first time, I felt truly untethered. The next morning, the messages flooded in, not just from Lena, but from her friends and even random acquaintances. You're overreacting. One mistake and you're throwing away a marriage. I ignored them. Lena was spinning her version, casting herself as the remorseful wife and me as the unforgiving husband. But I had already shared the truth with those who mattered. It didn't need defending. Ethan called later. You good? He asked. Better than I thought, I said. He told me Lena was staying with her parents and Margaret, her mother, was spreading rumors about me having a midlife crisis. I laughed, a real laugh, the first in days. Let them say what they want, I said. I'm done playing their game. That evening I sat on the beach, beer in hand, watching the waves roll under a fading sky. couple strolled by, holding hands. I didn't feel bitter, just empty in a peaceful, resetting kind of way. Lena had texted once more. "Please, Daniel. I'll do anything. Just talk to me." I stared at the message. Then I deleted it. Some endings don't need words. They need quiet. Over the next few days, I hired a lawyer and started divorce proceedings. No drama. Just paperwork and finality. A week later I was at Ethan's, hammering nails into a sagging fence under the hot sun. The work felt good, simple, real. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. It was Margaret. "Daniel," she said softly. "I hate to bother you. Lena's struggling. She's in therapy now, staying with us. She regrets everything." I stayed silent. "She hopes you'll talk to her." "Just once," Margaret said, her voice cracking. I glanced across the yard at Ethan. "I'm not angry," I said calmly. "But there's nothing to say." Then I ended the call. That night, I emailed the last of our mutual friends who hadn't taken sides. "Thank you for giving me space. I wish Lena well, but I'm moving on. Please don't reach out to me about her." I changed my number and rented a small apartment across town. Unadorned. But mine. Memories of Lena would still drift in sometimes. Her laugh, her off-tune singing, but they were just shadows now. Harmless. When what would have been our second anniversary passed, I barely noticed. Life had already moved on. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about pain. It was about freedom.